Hey guys, cool one. We're back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
We're back with Fruits Basket.
Why are you so up-tempo?
Last time on, I got to start up-tempo before this show dragged me down into the depths of despair. As it did last time. Despite Hero's bond having broken.
Yeah, and then immediately being just like wrapped in a loving family hug of comfort. Best possible, like, you know, post-breaking reaction.
His mom really, came on to what happened to him quickly.
Hero's mom is, one of the few representatives that the rest of them should aspire to.
Yeah. It is. And then Kurno got stabbed in the back by Akito, who now is maybe on a murderous rampage going to kill all of them. I don't know what her plan is.
Well, hopefully...
Do you think she gets arrested? And probably not. She's attempted murder many times before.
Yeah, I mean... No harm.
Light just needed to be the head of an influential family. And he would have been fine. Light, you got me?
Oh.
From Death Note?
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that, babe.
You have to.
No, I haven't.
You have?
We watched, the first episode.
No, we watched until it's not good anymore.
No, we did not. All I remember is seeing the this is off topic. And spoilers.
All right, well, let's see what happens this time on Fruits Basket. Oh. Felt like I didn't get a chance to say anything. Kyo just monologued his heart out.
Toru's special powers. Being quiet.
Listening.
And listening.
Who's the bigger idiot? Kyo or Iskatani?
Itskatani.
From Initial D.
Oh, that's a hard one.
It's easy. It's Ishkatani.
Yeah.
Always and forever.
Oh my gosh.
Kyo, why? Why do you have to run? Is his thread gonna break and that's what brings him back? There's no way Toru gets stabbed, right? No way.
Really?
I mean, Wave Girl senses when she's in danger.
I know, that was
least.
literally what I was thinking. Is maybe Hanajima's on her way in a gothic helicopter.
Hanajima is the one that's caused the rain and will bring down the lightning.
Raise the knife.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about Akito going after Toru, but that makes a lot of sense. Why she would do that. That would be her target. I mean, unless she's there for Shigure, which I guess also makes sense too, a little, but Toru definitely makes sense. But man, Kyo had to run. He's not there to protect her. You know, that's what he promised.
Yeah.
What do you think Kyoko said? What do you think she meant?
I'll never forgive you. Take care of Toru.
Well, yeah, was she going to say, I'll never forgive you if you don't keep your promise?
Yeah.
Or, I'll never... I don't know what else she could have said.
Forget you? I mean... So what if that's what he heard? Toru knows her mom. It's if you told me something my mom said, I'd be like... And it definitely sounded like not her. It's man, you misheard. And or I'm missing so much context.
Yeah. I mean, it's better and worse than I thought it was going to be. When he's I'm responsible for her death. I thought, well, maybe he turned into his monstrous form and that was why, which would have been worse. But I also thought, maybe he just wasn't there at the time she needed her, which he kind of was. But, I mean, that's rough. I can imagine, I can empathize with him feeling the way he feels. Because, he should have grabbed her.
and then people would have been like, where's that yellow car? Oh my gosh. Ah. Like distractions. Like, oh, someone's bag open. There's clothes on the ground. Ah.
Yeah, like...
Luckily, that ginger cow over there escaped. It's like...
I mean, even you just, like, pour her towards you.
People don't even remember what color the car is that hit them. How would they notice if a person just suddenly wasn't in their line of sight? Like...
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, his call sounds very familiar. Like, what goes through his head.
It all
like,
happens in an instant.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like,
I've made similar instinct sort of like calls where it's like, it wasn't based on anything I actually like thought mattered really, but like, that's what your body kind of went with.
Well, that would be his instinct of like, don't, hug girls.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's avoided ever since he's been born.
Yeah.
So like, it certainly makes sense that would be his instinct.
And it's been drilled into his head that he's not human. He's a beast. He's a monster.
And maybe even if he had grabbed her, like maybe it wouldn't have been enough, I don't know.
So Akito maybe reaches an emotional high moment, sort of like knife raised over Toru, and another bond breaks. And they're like, Well,
Shigeru's still at the house, presumably, right?
I don't know.
Where else would he be?
Last he was at the main estate.
True.
But like,
And Rin is with Sensei still, right? She's not there. I don't think.
Yeah, she's living with Master. Hatsuharu. Who's just broke? Hiro?
Hiro.
Do you think he would show up?
I mean, maybe. But I feel like if anyone saves her but Kyo, I feel like Kyo will never recover.
Or maybe he could have a guided recovery of like, hey, this thing happened and it's not the end of the world.
He broke a man promise.
Oh, come on. Who gives a shit if it's a man promise? It's a man promise. Oh, the promises of men. What is a man but a miserable little pile of secrets? That made me feel better. This episode was hard.
Yeah. No, it was amazing performance. I mean, it was just a monologue. Like,
yeah.
It was Kyo just talking from start to end.
That was, yeah.
And it was amazing. Like,
if real people could get out all their feelings like that to other people, this world would be a better place. Like, I mean, we're gonna say it's like, oh, Kyo doesn't talk enough, he doesn't admit his feelings enough, but really, like, what he just did, that's something that people
just
can't even do.
I mean, that is incredible, but just having the self-reflection to realize those things and not tell them to someone, I think is beyond most people. Most of the time. Certainly has grown a lot. And I'll never look at the first season the same way again.
I mean,
I mean, the first season's not all, laughs and good times, but
no, but
it was always
there were so many questions.
Well, it was always a point of comedy whenever the two of them fought each other.
But I mean, I remember when we found out about the bet, I was like, oh, that makes the first season really, really dark and desperate and sad.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to watch that first season again. See what it's like. I don't know.
They run away into the night and they come back friends.
At the end of this whole season,
Brothers.
like, yeah, maybe it is all in a super happy ending and everyone lives happy ever after, and like it still is fun and funny.
They just need treatment.
I mean, they need Akito to not be around. Step one.
2 is the mother. 3 is that crazy servant lady. I can't remember the first scene with her, but I remember thinking, like, she creepy. Crazy servant lady.
I also think maybe Shigure as well. He's not a good influence.
Shigure was not built to fight with, like, physical tools. And
I mean, he can be just as cutting as Akito and Rin.
I mean, I agree.
He did it with Rin, he did it with...
I also know that
Kurano.
he's been telling Kurano that he's been doing the wrong thing for years now.
Yeah, Kurano, too
Like,
little, too late.
He's been the only sane person, probably, for a long time. And you think he needs to go now?
I don't know.
I don't know if he's been the only sane person, but he's been the only person to see deeper. Even if he can figure out other people's reasons and influences and priorities, he seems to also be able to tell his own pretty well, too.
Well, yeah, but I think he's, other than Akito and Rin, like, I think he's by far the most selfish character in the show.
Possibly? But, like, who's he hurt?
I mean...
He seems to hurt people by dropping truth bombs.
Yeah.
And spreading knowledge to people that it was controlled from. Connecting people and, like, getting the info out there and such. Barring, like, the fact that Kurano is actually not part of the Zodiac, which Shigure knows. But
He knows now. Yeah, he suspected for a while.
I mean, I think he has a great deal of influence on what happens. But, I mean, as far as it... Sure, like... I don't see his selfishness as being, like, totally evil. Strangely enough. It's kind of like the heart wants what it wants, but it's like, why not try to be happy? But, like, oh, I don't know. Him wanting Akito, and I don't know. I totally imagine that he has made decisions that have not forwarded what he wants, and that he has made decisions that have been overall bad for the people around him. But, like, I get tired of people being like, I'm gonna make this hard decision for you, I'm just gonna remove you from my life and all that sort of stuff. Like at some point it is slightly refreshing to have a character like Shigure who wants what they want something and then go after it. Like, even if they do it, like, that's why I have a soft spot.
But I
for a
mean,
lot
he
of
goes
villains.
after it by using people as pawns.
Yeah, which isn't super great. But, like, who did he use?
I mean, Toru.
That's
That's
who
the whole reason that she's here.
Yeah.
Is for this reason.
But she's having a great effect on the people around her.
She is, but that was not his intent.
His intent was to make Akito...
Have no one left but him.
Yeah.
I think.
Probably. And maybe to get Akito jealous or something. I mean, which apparently has super worked. Akito's stumbling towards her with a knife. Shigure has to save her, right?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
Shigure
Kyo
get-
has to do it.
Shigure gets the
Or
girl.
Toru has to save herself. Like, if anyone else does it, I don't know. Yuki ran the other way. So, like, maybe he doubles back and he saves her? Because Kyo ran one way and Yuki ran the wrong way. So I guess, like, he could double back and save her. I'm sure that is not going to make Kyo happy. It's probably just me being sour from Yuki and Toru not getting together. But I don't think... Like, when Toru said, nothing you can say can make me change my mind. I don't think that is true. And I think that's very, like, I don't know, adolescent.
Maybe... I don't quite agree with you. I think it's more along the lines of, I get to make up my mind. You can't tell me what my mind, how to make up my mind, basically. You have to let me have that decision.
I mean, maybe, but...
I mean, he is just preaching at her over and over and over. You don't want me. You don't want me. Don't fall in love with me. You hate me. He is telling her how to feel that whole time. And she's like, no, you can't tell me how to feel. I take in this information. I give you back my response.
Maybe.
He was literally telling her the response he wanted. Like, cueing her. Okay, now you say, I'll never forgive you. And she's like, no, you can't tell me. Like, you can't make my mind up for me.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, she can't make his mind up either. And, like, her forgiving him isn't going to make him forgive himself. He just needs to, he feel like he needs to suffer. Be blamed.
Because other people told him to.
Well, it reminds me a lot of, I know you haven't seen it, but in Fate Zero, there's a character called Berserker who, like, really, in a way, loved and respected this character. And, like, they did something that, you know, hurt that person, and the person forgave them. But, like, they were driven to evil and insanity because they were forgiven. And were never made to, like, feel the punishment that they felt like they should have had.
So,
and I always thought that was very interesting.
The person they love and respect, but not enough to accept their feelings.
I mean, it's just that I don't think that the right option is always to forgive someone. Like, sometimes that's not what a person needs, I think.
I mean, are we talking about a person or a kid? Like,
a person.
We're talking about, like, a very heavy subject of self-forgiveness and such. It's like, that's something people can struggle for their entire lives.
But
I do not think it should be aspired to or maybe catered to too much.
It's kind of like a bird breaking out of its shell, right? Like, if you help it, then it's not getting the strength that it needs in order to survive, sort of thing. And, like, I can kind of see that in an emotional level as well, where, like, if someone isn't made to struggle, they can't ever feel like they earn the forgiveness.
But thinking that you can earn someone's forgiveness is like, it's like earning someone's love. It's like, no, it's theirs to give. You can't buy it. You can't earn it.
Yeah. I mean, it is one...
If you can't accept it, that's on you.
Yeah. It's tough, because it is one of, like, the core concepts in theology. Like, I think there's just something very deep in people's minds about, like, needing to earn forgiveness. Like, you see it with animal sacrifices and, like, things from the beginning of time. I think it's just a very core... It doesn't mean it's a right way of thinking, but I think it's a very...
It's very visual.
Yeah. I just think it's kind of innate to humanity in some ways.
I mean, I kind of think that it's a growth plateau that a lot of people reach and they never grow beyond. But I don't think by any means that it is the, like, final step of, like, happy personality. Like, I think a well-rounded person that loves themselves, loves others, and can be happy, like truly happy, I don't think that person necessarily can't accept when other people forgive them. It's kind of like taking the power of the situation is like, you give the power to that other person in the situation. You wrong them. And so you think, okay, I'll give them the power in the situation. They have to forgive me, and whatever bad things that they tell me I have to do, I will do and I will accept. And it's like, oh, they just forgive you. And it's like, well, like I have judged their forgiveness and found it wanting. Like, I totally understand, because I have felt it too, but I don't think it is core. I think it's a crutch.
Maybe. I don't know. I think sometimes people just needed to be guided to the road of forgiveness and not just dropped off there, if that makes sense.
Then they could talk about it.
They can talk on the car ride.
But you're saying people basically should give others like fake, like even if they forgive them, they should give them fake repercussions.
Not always.
In order to feel, so that the other person can feel like they have rightfully earned this forgiveness, so that they can forgive themselves.
Not always. No. But I think sometimes.
Do you have to do that with me?
Not yet.
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't know. It's like sometimes, you're growing up and you get mad at someone and like you fight and then everything's fine. I don't know.
You fight. Everybody says sorry and it's good.
Yeah, but you have to have the fight.
I don't understand. The fight was the bad thing that went wrong.
No, there was the bad thing, and then there was the fight, and then there was...
No, the fight is for the excess emotional energy manifesting as physical energy. You should know this. It has nothing to... No. 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 No, no, no. Like, what? You're gonna fight, and then... So the other person hurts you? Or... Like, are you fighting against them to beat the forgiveness out of them? Or what? Like, who wins? What do you get?
You both win.
Why? What? How's that winning? Or is it just a method of communication that is nonverbal and is yet again another crutch?
Kind of. Well, it's just... It shows what length you'll go to in order to get someone's respect or get someone's like approval. I don't know.
Okay, you're talking about all these things like you can get them or you can earn them, but like all this stuff's given. It's not really currency. I don't think so anyway. Is that like a big like just a thing that a lot of people think?
Maybe it's a more male-centric philosophy.
A man's promise. Suddenly, a man's forgiveness seems a whole lot more dangerous. Oh my gosh. And just to think, most women just, want you to listen to them. That makes I can't believe that it's just guys or a guy thing. I hope.
I don't know.
But that's very interesting. We're not gonna fight with fists ever. Just putting that out there. Ever. I'm like Sugar Ray. I fight with my mouth and the things I say. Maybe that's why I like him so much. It's like, he's getting shit done. People getting hurt, maybe, but like, he's not having to get into punch people or stab people in the back.
If this show shows you anything, it's you can hurt someone far more with words than you can with fists.
Heck yeah. Use power gaming, these noobs. Oh my gosh. I don't know what any of that meant. Anyway. That felt like another half of an episode that we need to finish.
I mean, we're only on episode like 8.
Of how many?
I mean, I think
9?
it's a normal season, so I think it's 20 something.
I feel like we've been on the climax to the end for a while now.
I mean, I also thought that last season on Haikyuu was 20 something, and the rug got pulled out from under us. So, who knows? But
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could be at a climax here. I don't know.
If it's like this for like another several episodes, it's like at some point it's like just scrubbing my eyes with tissue boxes. Like, I can't take this.
And there's got to be a resolution at some point as well.
Will there not be?
But
oh my gosh, we talked about this before.
Very curious to see what the ending is going to be like. I'm loving the lead up so far. I mean, it's painful, but
freaking painful.
It's deserved, you know. Like if everything was just magically better, it would rob all the pain that they've all gone through.
But they're not just like giving us pain now; they're giving us past pain too that we have to live through.
Oh, but they're having to face it, you know, for the first time.
All the freaking context for everything for the past several seasons. We're getting several seasons worth of angst and drama and pain.
It's been a slow build in some cases, but it's been there the whole time. They've just repressed it. Now we're having to deal with it.
Lots of fucking context.
And finally, you have to open the wound before it can heal.
If it's infected, this does feel infected.
Festering, I think, is the better term.
Okay.
You ready for more? Thank you guys for watching our reaction to Fruits Basket. It just gets crazier and sadder the more and more we go. If you want to see how that is 4 episodes from now, you can over at patreon.com/blindwave. Maybe it's all sunshine and rainbows.
Maybe just